Today, we're continuing our conversation about how clients waste money on unnecessary things. Topic for today is review. Now, I'm not a review expert myself, so what I'm about to say is based on what I hear and I see from others. Also, usual disclaimer here is warranted because sometimes things that seem pointless to us may not actually be. They could be case strategy or something else. So again, we're doing this for fun. All right, let's get started. And the first place we got to talk about is deduplication. A lot of times I see clients send data and say, okay, we're going to review this data, but when you load it, do not perform any deduplication. And I cannot think of a reason why you wouldn't do that. You know, it seems like they're just scared of technology. This is something that's been used for years and years, but they just say, do not remove duplicates. I just want to see the data exactly as it is. Of course, once you talk to them about it a little bit and explain to them that, look, you're going to be looking at the same documents over and over and you're going to be wasting money on doing so, why don't you just remove the duplicates, and there's going to be a field, duplicate custodian and duplicate path, and you'll be able to use that field to figure out where the other duplicates are coming from. And usually by that time they're kind of okay with it. But deduplication is definitely an area where clients waste money for no reason, looking at same documents over and over. And just like we're talking about deduplication, we should address email threading. To me, email threading is like a next step after deduplication. That's when, instead of just taking the exact emails from multiple places and taking them out, you actually take different replies and you figure out when there is individual replies within an email chain have been repeated over and over, and you take those out, so you're only looking at the most inclusive email thread. To me, that feels like the only version of a document you need to look at, but there are some downsides to email threading, so we're gonna leave it at that. You know, if you see a downside, sure, but generally speaking, you should save money by performing email threading and only looking at the most inclusive version of an email. Now, the other thing that seems to waste money and creates a confusion is when clients ask vendor to code documents for them. So for example, a vendor could receive a zip file and the client says, oh, can you just code these documents as responsive? Oh, here's another zip file, code these documents as something else. And then maybe here is another folder of documents and code this subfolder is this and this subfolder is that. So why is that a problem? Well, first of all, you're paying for project manager's time to code. Sure, it may be very little, but they'll probably apply minimum tech time, which is like 1 hour or something like that. But the second problem it causes, it creates a confusion. So when you go to produce documents and you run a production and you go back and you say, okay, these documents have been produced because they've been coded so and so, and then you look, wait a minute, who coded this document that way? And then you look and you see a person's name and you're like, hold on, this person is not on our review team. Who is that person? Oh, that's a project manager on the vendor side. Why did they code that? Oh, I guess let's ask them, and then they have to find an email when they were asked to code. And you see, it causes all kinds of problems. Have your vendor load the documents that they're supposed to, and then on the client side, as a client, you code the documents with appropriate tag. It's supposed to be in having your name saved in the tagging history. Now here's another thing that I thought we were over, but apparently we're not. It is tiffing documents for review. I still see clients that review documents as TIFF images when there's absolutely no reason to do so. Most of the review system allow you to look at native files, and you're able to see what content of the file there is without having to TIFF it. I don't think I have to explain to you guys that tiffing is an unnecessary expense. It takes time, takes resources, it increases hosting size, and in fact, some countries don't even TIFF for productions, and some clients here still TIFF for review. So to me, that is unnecessary expense. You should get a system that's able to show you native files and their content in like a quick view or something like that, and base your review off that. Now, another thing that wastes a lot of money and time is not having a solid plan. You need to think of what you're going to be doing from review to production. How you're going to produce, what formats you're going to use, what quality control steps you're going to have. I see people jump back and forth saying, okay, we finished review, can you send us images of redacted documents in PDF, but burn in redaction, but don't burn in the Bates number. Okay, we reviewed, now we're gonna change it, send us another copy, going back and forth, and just having this multiple steps in quality control and things that are just inefficient, take a lot of time, take a lot of work from a vendor that just takes a lot of time and money. The best way, of course, is to finish your review, take it to the next step of quality control where someone else goes through, QCs your redactions, QCs tags, does conflict checks and so on, and then you send it over to a vendor when you have finished your review and QC, as opposed to having to go back and forth with having vendor do an export, check the export, maybe make revisions and so on. Leave everything inside your review system, whether that's relativity or not. Check your designations there, check your redactions there, check everything in there to make sure it's all good, and then tell vendor to perform final export of the production. So that would be my list of ways clients waste money doing document review. If you have any more tips that you would like to add to that, please put them in the comment section below. Don't forget to follow on LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube. I'll see you next time.